ain't got no place of checking me. You check me outside this TV camera, you might get cussed out. It's amended, and it's got 2 special orders on it. Ms. Fields, we trying to see if there's any changes or suggested changes or amendments to the agenda.
Is that all right with you, Ms. Fields? Hello, give us some feedback.
R.L. Mitchell don't get put out.
Oh, yes, sir.
You know, I'm gonna be a little different from Mr. Winfrey. I'm gonna put everybody out if they keep disturbing this meeting. So I gotta treat you like I treat everybody else.
Oh, yes, sir.
Even though we know you and we like you, we gotta treat you like them we don't like. All right, so.
Oh, please, Madam Clerk. Ms. Priestley.
Yes.
Excuse me, Ms. Winfrey Carter.
No.
Ms. Burns.
Yes.
Ms. Herkenroder.
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Ms. Worthing.
Yes. Oh. Hey, I'm over. I abstain. No, I'm just,
Zero hesitation.
Ms. Worthing.
Oh, my voice got way deeper. Yes.
So, guess what? They know I say this all across the country. I ain't studying that you talking about.
Miss Wheeler, the city attorney, okay, granted city council its right to its own attorney because she admitted there's a conflict in our positions over this water deal and over MDEQ suing us. We have been in mediation where we're in separate rooms. Okay, council's in a room with its attorneys. Miss Wheeler is in the room with the GLEWA, the state, representing Mayor Weaver, all those people.
Point of order.
I have to say.
Point of order. I thought that was point of order. She don't know that she's. I thought it was confidential mediation.
Wait a minute.
Highly
I thought it was confidentiality.
Illegal.
Miss Fields, hold on.
My point of order, she can do what she wants, but I thought it was the term confidential mediation. So I'll hear more details than I ever know. Keep talking, Ms. Fields, and violate confidential.
Thank you. That's very kind
Well,
of
God
you.
bless you. That's you and your
Thank you, Mr.
judge.
Mays.
Miss Fields, please be very careful
I
in that
believe
area.
it was highly unethical and possibly illegal for her to be giving counsel her opinion on this. She can't wear those same hats. She has to pick a hat to wear. And she can't pick being on one side of the issue and in court with one hat and then come down here and say, oh, now I'm going to wear this hat. I don't believe that's possible. So, Ms. Wheeler, I, for one, would really appreciate it if you'd keep your opinions in this matter to yourself.
Miss Wheeler?
Yeah. I'd like to first say that I think that's completely disrespectful and completely inappropriate. I serve the city of Flint. That means I serve the council, the administration, and each and every the city department within the entire city of Flint. So your opinion about what you believe is unethical and inappropriate does not carry any weight, even a scintilla.
That's the reason you didn't see it before, but we will provide it. You do have a right to see it.
I appreciate that, but if I had been allowed to finish my question.
You can finish now.
would have
And
answered
if you keep
differently.
saying that and wasting time, then I ain't gonna say finish. Just stick with it and we gonna guide you through this. We got an hour, you going, keep going. I ain't for no mess today. Proceed. Well, good. Mr. Garrett, go ahead.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask was how many staff do you
I'm
have?
gonna
in
acknowledge the
legal
city
department?
attorneys in here, Mr. Gilchrist, Miss Fields. I'm hating you so sensitive, and so if you don't want
You're
us
so
to help,
impolite.
hey, look, I'm gonna give you one warning.
You are very.
I'm giving you one warning. Another word, I'm gonna help you get out of here. Go ahead, Mr. Guerra, proceed.
Immediately and expeditiously. Okay?
I was personal attack, Madam Chair, by Kate Fields.
So, if we can continue. Yes.
Don't
All right.
personally attack me, though.
I'd call a point of order, but I don't think council really understands the council
You the
rules.
only one understanding anything.
170072.
in Grand Blanc, but I do everything I do in the city of Flint. Everything. My mother lived here in Grand Blanc, and I moved here to be with her while she was dying. But I'm still a Flintite. Thank you.
I don't give a fuck. You don't live in fucking Flint.
Janelle, point of order.
Someone came on the line before I could stop them. They're muted now.
Well, I'm going to hang up now and try to get to my report with Burston Field House. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Hawkins. Now that brings us to the executive closed session on the agenda.
Point of order.
City
Point of
attorney,
order.
please.
Point of order.
What is your point of order, Mr. May? Oh, I beg your pardon. You're correct. I know
You're
what your
supposed
point
to
of order
stop
is going to
talking,
be.
and that's what's my point.
I'm aware of what your point of order is, Mr. Mays.
No, you're not. I ain't said it.
Well, what's
Man,
the
you
point of
need
order,
to
Mr.
cut that mess. You need to cut that mess out and follow the rules. You be out of order. When the point of
Mr.
order,
Mays,
you
please
stop.
talking. Say what your point of order is.
That's what it was, but I don't want you to get a habit of saying what my point of order is. When I say point of order, stop, and I'll say you forgot to do the council
Mr.
comment.
Mays, cease talking. You've made your point of order. It's a point well taken. I forgot to do council response. So we will now have 2 minutes of council response to public comment. Mr. Mays, you have the floor.
And I'm going to say something while the media gets this story. I looked at Channel 12, a trusted source. And it Amy Heigl. Ain't that the name? I was out in front of my yard today with Fox 66. What's the man's name? Joe Fight. But this Flint Journal reporting is killing me. How would somebody try to write around a story? Because they don't want to say your name because you done cussed and fussed because they had you in the middle of W.T. Stevens in a story like we some dope dealers, $30 million dope dealers. The mayor and VO'd and brought.
Point of order.
What's your point of order?
Are we discussing this contract or are we discussing the media?
We discussing it all because it's going to be reported in the media and it's relevant what goes out of this room. To me, maybe not to you. I didn't interrupt you. I know how to talk. I know how my brain
Point of
thinks.
information.
What's your point of
Does
information?
Mr. Mays know that I agree with the reporting of Ms. Ahmed and it's personal opinion and nothing to do with this at all?
Well, then keep your personal opinion to yourself when I got the flow and let me do mine. So you just...
Wait, Mr. Mays, so council response is over, and actually, Mr. Mays, we're already at the presentation of... Oh, yes, sir.
Y'all don't anticipate it, just record. That's all I ask. Y'all can't read my mind. Can't read my mind.
So here we are, presentation of the...
And it's starting to piss me off. But who am I? Mr. President, I'm fitting to be quiet because they done got me hot under the collar. I hear some bad talking information and it ain't all factual. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me just say this to all my colleagues. We're actually voting on 180200. We're way down on discussion at 202. So we can sit here all night and go back and forth, and then I'll have somebody sitting up here taking my place, because I'm not going to do that. Okay. Now, we're here. I would encourage my colleagues, let's move this stuff. Any other discussion on 180200? I don't want to hear anything about W.T. Stevens.
Yeah.
Go right ahead, Ms. Worthen.
Well, I would like to comment on what was being said. And you know what? I'm tired of getting frustrated looks when I want to speak on something and then Eric can go on for an hour.
Councilman Mays, 15 minutes, not an hour. Don't exaggerate.
I'm sorry, but he just had a rant for half an
Would
hour.
you please speak on the discussion on...
Point of
I would like some respect
point
for
of
myself.
information.
What's your point?
Is she gonna put her credibility out there that I spoke for an hour?
No, I don't think. I think.
I don't think you want.
Go ahead. You've got the floor.
Thank you. Because this is not the first time, Mr. Winfrey, that has happened. And I am going to speak my mind because that I get to.
That's what I asked you to do.
And I am. Thank you. Mr. Mays likes to intimidate others when things aren't going his way. And I would encourage my colleagues to not listen to threats by one member because they don't want something to happen. He may not like what he's hearing. That's okay. But we are allowed to vote how we feel on and what you have decided and not listen to the threats and intimidation. And I'd like to call to the question.
Miss for the question. And I hate that y'all supported it. Because she talking about Councilman Mays and then she want to start that about how I talk and threatening and all that old school bully stuff. Because see, when you want to talk publicly about me and then call for the question and you think it's funny, you got my attention. Now, if you don't want to be in the big person politic game and you can't stand to talk, but you ain't going to make your name off of me. I'm going to make a name off of you before it's over with. Now, you want to portray me as a certain way because I'm fighting for WT and you fighting for Goyette, and then you want to call for the question because I'd have tabled it up back.
Point of order.
What's your point?
I mean, it's still going on. He's saying he's going to make a name off of me. I don't know if that's a threat or what he means, but can we not speak this way and move on to the point?
Okay. Actually, you're right. Proceed, Councilman Mays.
Beg your pardon?
Proceed with your discussion.
Thank you for allowing me to proceed because she can characterize the talk for W.T. Stevenson and what I say is bullying and how she feel and like you don't know it's a threat or whatever. You ain't threatened by me. You ain't threatened by me. Politically, you better get ready because I'm like a Democrat and a Republican. I got the right to disagree and ask that you don't be elected no more. So you acting like it's somebody in an alley that you scared of. This is public.
Point of order.
What's your point?
I'd like to know what our attorney said about this behavior, because apparently she said to you it's not bullying or it's not inappropriate, and you said that's correct. You're right. I'd like to know because it is.
Would you mind sharing
I'd like it
with
public,
her
what you're about to say.
I'm getting ready to do that if you will allow me to. Would you share with me, with Ms. Worthing, what you would share with me?
Yeah, that was sharing that there was equal behaviors going on both sides. That's what I was sharing.
That's not true. Absolutely not. I'm not threatening anybody.
Point of order, Mr. President. She's out of order. She can wait her turn. She keep getting overruled, but she don't like it.
Go ahead and finish.
Just don't want to hear the truth. I think she took a low blow when she kind of made inference that I was bullying and intimidating, and if you don't vote the way I like, I heard her clear. So I don't play the game that certain folks sit on that side of the aisle, whether they male or female, can take a public political swipe at me and I don't swipe back. I don't play that game. I don't play it. I wouldn't care if her name was Miss Worthing, Miss Irvin, Miss Johnson. I don't play that game. And she's sitting up there thinking it's funny, and I take my political reputation very seriously. And I know I'm getting through to her because she keep interrupting for point of order because I'm talking politics. I was talking contract, and she took it to a level. So, Mr. President, if they want me to stay focused, don't try to portray me. I'm 59 years old, and I've been in this political arena for a while. You be here long enough and make your name. Don't try to make a name off of me. I'll focus back on it until she bring it up again.
Yes. You know, I don't even know where to begin, but to compare me saying that Mr. Mays tries to intimidate people to vote based on the fact that oh, well, we'll get new counsel. Those are veiled threats. And the fact that the city attorney said that I was on the same level, we need to talk.
Tripping. See, you said when stuff ain't going my way. No, when stuff ain't going your way. That's probably what's going to turn out to be. Be careful when you get my attention. And make your reputation off of you. Because every time you say Mays, I'm going to say Worthing. You going to say Mays, I'm going to say Worthing twice. That's how I roll. Thank you.
I think I did this one.
In the first.
And the third?
He lives in the first ward.
Oh, he lives, okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Point of order.
What is your point of
This
order?
ain't a back and forth, so you check me, but I'm just telling you,
Mr.
you know
Mays.
the rule. Point of order. You ruling that we can talk back and forth? Well, then why didn't you check it, Miss Perfection?
Mr. Mays,
But what I'm going to use my time on is what them very important speakers said. Mr. Davis, you can vote for Trump, you can vote for Mr. Rump or whoever. But I'm not going to tolerate being called the N-word because I'm a Democrat. I'm not going to tolerate on a podcast be called MFs. I'm not corrupt. Everything you say, we looking and see it. And this council ought to watch it. The Ethics and Accountability Board ought to watch it. Because if I go on a public podcast, this ain't a private conversation, and call people the N-words, talk about body parts of men and women rubbing against each other, saying we...
Mr. Mays, you're out of order. It is now time for council response to the speakers. Please remain germane to the speakers.
The speaker spoke about this.
Say anything about
Point of
Mr.
order.
Made the change to 500 was because Councilman Mays during the meeting, he had leaned over to me. He leaned over to me to let me know what the appropriate address was. So after the meeting was over in the evening, after I have time to work on it, understanding the urgency of this. And let me just tell you my frame of mind on Friday. My frame of mind on Friday.
Mr. Mays, you're being disrespectful to her. She has the floor. I'm giving you one warning.
Okay,
Thank you,
don't
sir.
try it.
Go ahead.
Point of order.
What's your point of order?
I appeal the ruling of the chair to try to set me up with a warning. I appeal the ruling of the chair.
You're appealing me, giving you a warning because
Yeah.
you're being, okay. There's an appeal of decision on the chair on the floor. Is there a second? There's an appeal of the decision of the chair on the floor. Is there a second? There's an appeal of the decision of the chair on the floor. Is there a second? The motion dies for a lack. Ms. Wheeler, can you please finish?
Yeah, so like I said, when we had the meeting on Friday,
But I'm just going to pray for us. You all are making the mayor look good. The city of Flint is where it is because of his leadership. And in that council, I tell you, the spirit of the Fabulous Five have returned. When you cough, Madam President, 4 other people cough at the same time. God bless y'all. Good night. Bye-bye.
I can't say be there Monday and hope you come here without a different attitude, laughing at my questions, but being serious with Ms. Burns now. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. It started with that handkerchief head Negro talking about point of order. That means somebody who covers for white folks.
Point of information.
I knew that'd get it.
What's your point, Mr.
To
Murphy?
you, to the speaker, I'm not sure who he referring to as.
You? I'm gonna make it sure.
Madam President, Chair, he is out of order. And that will be, after this, he need to get another warning and be removed from the meeting. Thank you.
He done did a point of order because you telling me how to talk and I'm telling him how I don't like him to talk. We know you gonna condone it. We know Pfeiffer, Herkenrode. I'm in the middle of an appeal. I didn't interrupt you and I see your mouth fixed trying to say something to me. If you want to be out of order and interrupt me, go ahead.
I was going to respond to Mr. Murphy.
Did he do a point of information or
He did a
point
point
of
of
order?
order as well.
Okay.
And Mr. Murphy, I am going to allow him to continue speaking during this appeal. If he does it again, however, he may get another warning. We are
y'all can go
explaining
back
the
and
vote.
forth.
We are explaining the
Folk been
vote
here a
under the
year.
new rule. Mr. Mays, the rules have changed.
Yeah, for black folk.
The last I checked, Mr. Mays, these rules are for all people who are members of council. Mr. Mays.
Get him out.
Get
him out.
I'm asking you to be removed from this meeting.
I'm asking, you ain't got to ask me. I'm leaving this kangaroo